Hello and welcome back to the Massimo Peluso channel. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about another hot topic because it's Hot Topic Monday. It's going to be of a serious nature, and that is about Jeffrey Epstein and his girlfriend. I think it's pronounced Ghislaine Maxwell, as well as Prince Andrew and Bill Clinton. Just want to write the names down so I forget. So if you don't know Jeffrey Epstein, which most of you will, I actually, surprisingly, and you're going to be shocked, I only learnt who he was about a month ago. I know, crazy, because my family started talking about it because of the Netflix show and what was coming up in the media, and so I didn't know about it, and then they brought it up, and I was like, wow, I didn't know that. He was worth billions, and he was responsible for basically a sex ring, essentially, for underage girls. Primarily underage, like 90%, I would say, because in this video I will be giving a few spoilers about the Netflix show, so if you're willing to watch it, turn this video off. So a few people in documentary were like of age, but still, it's still grim and it's disgusting. But yeah, him and his wife were in on it. He used his manipulation, he used his money, his power, his connections to manipulate all of these girls. He knew exactly what he was doing, you know, his wife knew exactly what she was doing. That's why she's been, you know, in hiding for like the last few years, because they knew it was wrong. The whole Prince Andrew thing, I'm really like, it's crazy to me that because he's part of the royal family, he can get away with this. He's basically untouched. And there was a video, actually, if you don't know about this, search it, but there's a video, an interview online of him being grilled, basically, of like, oh, did you know about this? Were you involved? There's actual photographic evidence of you and a girl, one of the victims that have, you know, come forward. It's like, oh, I've never met this girl before, you know, yada yada, and then they showed a picture, and he was like, oh, I didn't take that picture. And he was just really sweating, he was really like quite unsure, his story kept changing, so it's quite funny to see because he's involved. Everyone knows he's involved, there's pictures, you know, there's evidence. He needs to be held accountable. It needs to set an example that this is wrong. But that's the reason why they do it, is because they know they can get away with it. And it's so many people in power. You know, it's Bill Clinton, it's Donald Trump, it's loads of people. And it was actually quite hard to watch some of that documentary on Netflix. It was. I really do recommend you watch the show on Netflix because it really gives you in-depth information about it, about the cases, about the victims, about the lead up to his death. I personally think it was an inside job killing him. There's just, I mean, you'll watch it, but like, it's so true. Like, why? Like, how was this allowed to happen? You know, that he was allowed to hang himself, you know? Like, they said, oh, the guards were off duty or something, or they just happened to not see it, and the CCTV cameras were off, and I'm just like, oh, all of that happened at the same time. So it just makes you think that it probably was an inside job. I mean, he knew too much. He was the leader of it all. So, of course, someone out there is probably going to want to have him killed. And so, it doesn't... I wouldn't be surprised if something came forward and some evidence arose and it was like, he was murdered. I'd be like, yeah, believe it. I don't know what's going to happen to his wife. I hope she, you know, really gets dealt with, because it's disgusting. These women, these girls, it's going to stick with them for the rest of their life. She is a coward, a wimp, for hiding for that time. I hope that she gets locked away. I hope that, you know, she hears and sees. I hope these victims come forward and she hears it, you know, face to face. But also, I hope that she spills the dirt on all these people. Like, yep, he was, well, she probably won't do that because, you know, this the outcome, but, you know, he did it, he's involved, yep, he was here, yeah, Prince Andrew, yeah, And it will also show you how like a person like Jeffrey, who is a narcissist, lacks empathy, sympathy, all of the above, was able to just do it. You know what I mean? He was able to just do all these disgusting acts without feeling remorse, you know, without feeling like, wow, I've just ruined this person's life. No, he didn't care. He knew exactly what he was doing. I really do like these shows on Netflix because it just raises awareness, and also it allows more people to come forward. I think it's great, you know, on that side of the coin, you know. So yeah, I'll be following the story. I hope that she gets locked away. I hope that she suffers really, and I hope something comes from this. You know, comment specifically on all of the victims that spoke in the documentary, especially Virginia. It takes a lot of guts to do that. I don't think people realise, you know, they think, oh, they're just speaking to a camera. Yeah, but they had to deal with that for years from, you know, like, I think the youngest was like 12, 13, something on the lines. So from like that age all the way to their 20s, 30s, I think Virginia moved to Australia. I think she was the victim. There were so many, but she moved to Australia and got married. So I'm glad she kind of has a happy ending. But yeah, she's coming forward. She's kind of like one of the people who's like, you know, marching this, you know, who's bringing volume to this, who's bringing like noise. Because it's like the Harvey Weinstein case as well. Like I said in my last video, it takes one person. It takes one person to come forward, to have the courage, because I can guarantee for a fact, if you were alone by yourself and it happened to you, you would not come forward. Especially Jeffrey Epstein, right, who is really famous, really wealthy, knows people, could ruin your life. Yeah, I'd be scared. So for you to have like someone else on the sidelines with you, who's, you know, who's happened to them as well, it really does help. And I just actually got an alert on my phone from The Guardian 2 hours ago saying that more victims have come forward. More. In the documentary, there was, I want to say, about 50 victims that spoke. 25 to 50 victims that spoke. Yeah. Scary stuff. Scary stuff. And that's just the stuff we know. I mean, imagine all the stuff that we don't know. Think about Harvey Weinstein, you know, and I think it was Gwyneth Paltrow. She came forward and said she was involved. Gwyneth Paltrow came forward and said she was a victim of Harvey Weinstein. And she's, you know, in her 40s now, maybe 50s. And this happened when she started in the industry. So think about how long that is. How many victims in that time? Again, he's really powerful. You know, owner of like a big film franchise. It's crazy. I mean, I just hope it scares, you know, these men into knowing that this can't go on. This can't happen. It is wrong. He lured these vulnerable young girls into his house. He tricked them. He thought they were going there for like a job, £200 just to like massage basically, but then obviously it turned out it was actually something worse. He preyed on them. He knew that young girls were easily swayed. They were easily, you know, like that's what people like him, who are narcissists, prey on. You know, when they're on like the top of the food chain basically, and they're in control, and they like people who have, you know, issues. A lot of these girls, you know, have broken homes, have been, you know, sexually assaulted before,